So this is the final segment, Colin, and it was supposed to just maybe be here. Who's coaching who? Penn State fires James Franklin. And this morning, if you would have asked me, Colin, who was going to be taking this job,
I know who you were going to say.
I was going to say my favorite coach in the country, Coach Sig.
Me too.
Coach Signetti. Google me. And Signetti, just a few hours after I was about to write Signetti to Penn State, releases this video, and we'll take it right now. Let's see what Coach Sig has to say.
My wife, Manette, and I love Indiana University.
He's saying it right now.
People we've met, we have very strong feelings about President Whitten and Scott Dawson. And, we've accomplished a lot here in a short amount of time, but still have a lot of work to do. So I couldn't be more proud to be a Hoosier, and I plan on retiring as a Hoosier. And the way that this state has embraced us in our success in football has meant more to me than anything else. So I just wanted to get on camera and let you know that Curt Signetti is going to work daily to make Indiana the best they can be.
So you heard it there. Coach Signetti signing, and I've got the figure here, $11.6 million a year for the next 8 years until he is 72 years old to stay in Bloomington, Indiana.
How much money again?
$11.6 million.
That's a lot of corn.
That's a lot of money. Indiana, the Hoosiers are paying big bucks, but they got me thinking. We've got Coach Silverfield, who's on pace to win his 10th winning. This will be the third year where at least he's on pace, and if he doesn't screw it up, where they're going to win 10 games.
That would be 3 years in a row.
Yeah, 3 years in a row. And I'm looking at the salaries here of the American Athletic Conference. Silverfield's making 2.2. And that's still, I mean, 2.2 million, I'd take it.
Any day.
Any day. But it's the marketplace these guys are in, Colin, where you've got a guy like Ryan Silverfield, and look at
that's not including the incentives either, though.
But the incentives here, and I actually did look at the contract, it was like, if he wins the national championship, he gets like $500K. The incentives aren't insane.
True.
I mean, Signetti's got big incentives off the I want to make sure I get this right, $11.6 million a year he is getting. And just 5 years ago, folks, he was coaching at James Madison University. Never give up on your dreams. But I want to pull up this article here. We're almost done, Colin, so you can stay tuned here because we're going to roll it out with sports here. This is from ESPN.com, and this is from a few days ago. ESPN ranks the top 24 teams with the highest chance to make the college football playoff after Week 7. And we can see Ohio State, no surprise, 95%. Jeremiah Smith, Coach Signetti, who we just talked about, 93%. Alabama, 83%.
But you see, that's a 10% drop-off from 93 to 83%.
Yes.
That's a significant amount of change.
That's a significant, but I want the viewers to kind of take with this. Look at these programs, right? You've got Ohio State, Big Ten, Indiana, Big Ten, the darling of the country beating Oregon. You've got Alabama, SEC. Everybody in Memphis knows how good Alabama has historically been. Even with Kalen DeBoer, they're still playing really well. Miami, 81% chance. Miami's looking great this year, undefeated. Mike Elko and the Aggies down in College Station, 79%. Georgia, 72%. That could change after a huge game this weekend against Ole Miss. We'll see where that ends up in next week's show. But Texas Tech, 71%. Oregon, 64%. So, Colin, it's kind of fair to say all of these are blue blood programs, right?
Absolutely.
So is Ole Miss your alma mater here?
Yeah. I mean, do I think that we're going to make it? No. I mean, I'm just being honest. As a person that roots and covers this team, I was in the stadium for 4th and 25. I'll never root for an Ole Miss team like I should, like a real fan should. That's not in me.
Yeah, well, there you go. But then who do we have at 10? 42% Memphis. And my thing here, and we're going to look at the Memphis schedule before we close it out, is that I'm not sure Ryan Silverfield is going to get the Penn State job. The odds-on favorite right now, if you were to go and look at everything, it is Matt Rule, who's a Penn State grad who is the current head coach of the University of Nebraska. But there's going to be openings. Let's say Matt Rule goes to Penn State. Who's going to coach Nebraska?
I don't think Matt Rule could do it. I don't think he could fail 3 times forward.
Well, whether you think he's going to do it, he's going to get them. He's going to be the first phone call.
I mean, he choked in Charlotte. And he got the great job in Nebraska.
He's making $10 million a year,
to
just under it,
to kick field goals.
They're 25th in the country, and they play my father's University of Minnesota Golden Gophers this weekend. Huge game for Nebraska and a huge game for the Golden Gophers. But we're going to take a look at Memphis here. And Colin, this is actually good. Again, if you're just now joining us on the stream, Colin actually happened to walk by me ripping some hot takes, and he is now sitting down with me.
I had to debunk these hot takes.
He's keeping me in check. So, Colin, for viewers of the show, we've been saying all year that this schedule, show me the losses here. UAB this weekend in Birmingham, and I've also pointed out this team catches a huge break getting the big games at home. Memphis versus South Florida, October 25th in Memphis. That's going to be the big game.
It's going to be a big game, but I don't want you to look too far ahead.
And if we look at my overall thesis here about Ryan Silverfield is going to be potentially getting another job, another guy that could be is Alex Golish, South Florida. Really done a great job with South Florida. He could be potentially leaving, one of these guys that gets one of these big jobs. But I do think Silverfield, if he makes the playoff, it's going to be Silverfield getting some calls. And whether he shares his loyalty to the $2.2 million or he books it to Nebraska or wherever, I just don't know. He's just doing such a great job. And we saw that with Mike Norvell, and he was making a little under $2 million, I think. And here comes Florida State, and they can just pay him more. But we do look at this, and this is going to be a really interesting game. And Colin, we might have to have you back on the show for this one. But South Florida is going to be, whoever wins this game might make the playoff. Do you think Memphis will beat South Florida?
I think that's going to be a huge day. That's going to be a season-defining day. I think that the Tigers can beat South Florida. South Florida's defense in the conference isn't the greatest. The Tigers are one of the best defenses in the entire nation. But they have a quarterback. Let me tell you about this quarterback. Byram Brown, stud, 6'4", 220, can run, can throw. Memphis Tiger quarterback Brendan Lewis can do both of those things. But this guy, he's a sophomore, I believe. He's extremely good. So dealing with a quarterback that leaves the pocket, that's something that the Tigers on a regular week-to-week basis, they don't have to deal with. They don't. But let me tell you this. I don't want to get too far ahead of the South Florida game. You have to get through this UAB game. UAB is coming off a terrible week where they fired their coach, Trent Dilfer, the former NFL quarterback, Trent Dilfer of the Tampa Bay Bucks. He got relieved of duty Sunday morning after they blowout loss on Saturday. That team is going to come out fired up in the battle for the bones, a rivalry game in Birmingham. The Tigers cannot overlook that game, the next one on the schedule.
I'm overlooking them. I'm already on to South Florida. I'm already on to South Florida.
The Tigers have the talent, but you cannot overlook UAB.
I'm looking at Rice. That's a win in Houston. And then we come back to Tulane. That will be a tougher game. But again, they catch these breaks. Look what the game is. Memphis, Tennessee, East Carolina. And then you've got Navy, who is historically, a pretty solid program. I'm just looking at this team right now, 6-0. I've said it all year, Colin. Find me the losses. And I look at Ryan Silverfield, who you do literally like a show with. And you know this guy as well as anyone. He obviously has allegiances to Memphis.
Absolutely.
Seems like he likes it here.
He loves it here. He loves being in Memphis.
And you see him here right there. But you have to think, if he keeps it up, do you feel that people around this program are looking at this guy? And I might be tough because you're part of the Ryan Silverfield show. And I'm talking about he's gone.
But let's be real. Ryan's real. He understands the footprint and the landscape of college football. He deals with it every single week, having to re-recruit his guys. But I think the way, no matter where he goes or if he decides to stay here in Memphis, the fact that, this season in particular, dealing with a lot of transfers, 70 new players on this team, by the way, Harrison, and everyone is ball in. All in is the slogan is that they use. And I think he breeds a fantastic culture in his locker rooms, and he really gets guys to play for him like a Lane Kiffin.
Well, you heard it there, and this has been we've been doing a few episodes, Colin, but believe it or not, and I prefaced this at the beginning of the show, it is the first episode with its namesake, Talking in Memphis.
Oh.
like walking in Memphis,
I like that.
Memphis, but it's
I like that.
talking Memphis with Harrison Klopp. And you can only find it on the WREG Plus app and the WREG YouTube page. So that's